So our speaker, I think, is one of those people who lived a life that Steve just sang about. Spreads his arms, holds his breath, and always trusts his cape. And so far, it's worked out pretty well for him. But I'll let him tell you about that. It's Richard Long.
Testing. Is that good? Okay. What? Oh, the camera. Of course. Thank you, Brian. I forgot my cape, though, right now, so I don't know.
We see it for you.
Oh, okay. But I do trust nobody told him he couldn't fly, so he did. That's a good line, too. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone here and in Zoom land. Good morning. So I'd like to invite you to close your eyes. I'd like to invite you to take a journey with me for a minute. Oh, good. Everybody's. Imagine a time when you were in between an old and a new school. Maybe you moved and do not know anything about the new school. Or you're going from grade school to junior high school. Or from junior high school to the big, exciting high school. Imagine a time you're between an old and a new job, especially if you are, quote unquote, let go. How about an old and a new house? Seeing your last child moving away, and the first night experience of being an empty nester. And wow, that's exciting. There was the empty nester, I guess, going there. And of course, for a lot of us, imagine the time in between working and retiring. Or for many of us, between the blood test or the scan and the results, and between the diagnosis and the treatment. Okay, you can open your eyes. How did you feel being in between? Were you scared, pained, confused, happy, excited? Anybody come up? Anybody like to share what they felt? Anxious? All of them? All of them? Yeah, that's.
Anxious all of my growing up years.
All your years for that way. Anything else?
Excited.
Excited. Excited can be a really good one. Anything else? Confused. Yeah. Thank you. Wondering. The wonder of it. Serious? Yeah. Curious. Thank you. You were in, or maybe you are in now, what is called a liminal space. The space of transition, of uncertainty, between the known and the unknown, the certain and the certain, between comfortable and uncomfortable, between the old and the new. Let me give you an example. It's 1970. I'm graduating from college, and during finals I got my draft notice to report to Oakland Induction Center. The draft notice was not a surprise, for I had a low draft number. I just turned 21, and a very, very long story short, that summer I found myself 21, an adult, not drafted, with a degree in history. Whoopee! No, a degree in history. For the first time, I felt really free. Free from school, free from the possibility of going to Vietnam, and from being a minor. my whole old world stopped and a whole new world opened up. I had both freedom from and freedom to. How I reacted to is, now what? Oh my God, now what? Everything was planned until that time. That's liminal space. The term comes from architecture. It is a space in between. It is hallways, entrances, spaces that aren't really defined. Many definitions call it a threshold. The space under a door that is both the hallway and the door. And of course, the big threshold in a home is the entrance door, because you're both inside the house and outside the house. And the thing too is the door has to be open in order to be in the threshold. Liminal is from the Latin word limen, which L-I-M-E-N, which actually does mean threshold. Liminal space is a space of transition between what was and what is next. It's also a time of transition, a time of waiting and not really knowing the future, a time of possibilities. Larger homes are defined by extra space in between useful areas. Bedrooms with large sitting areas, large entrances, big wide hallways, a lot of open, not used spaces. Small RVs or small boats boast not a single inch is not useful. So they really have no real liminal space. Then I realized, what is the liminal space for a boat or an RV? Anybody wonder? It's the outside. It's what you don't know you're getting into. You have a choice of what to do when you're outside this unknown space. What is new? Inside the RV space is the known efficiency, giving the unknown quite a new meaning. What I realized going from a campsite to a new campsite is actually the search of a new liminal space, the unknown, the new possibilities. So why do we travel, putting ourselves in an unknown new space, new place? One of my favorite Enneagram authors is Michael Goldberg. And Michael wrote a book on Homer's Odyssey. And in that book, he defined the difference between a tourist and a traveler. A tourist, the one who tours, maybe in a sightseeing tour, a sightseeing bus, sightseeing trip, sightseeing ship, whatever it is, bringing along what they can, the comforts of home, to insulate themselves against the unpredictable. They are on a set schedule. A tourist stays really in their own cocoon. They are on the outside looking in. Oh, look at that fountain. Look at that big hole in the ground. Oh, Grand Canyon, that's right. It's Tuesday, I forgot. And they really reduce their liminal space. A traveler is one who travails, one who is expecting the unexpected, who may have some uncomfortable, difficult times, who participates in life of the place they find themselves, not just passing through that area. They are on the inside of the space looking out. A traveler emerges changed from his relationships and from his experience. For the traveler, it's personal. For a traveler, it may be full of discomfort, but it may be full of a great deal of discovery. A feeling of aliveness, possibilities, embracing the unknown, liminal space. So what makes liminal space spiritual? Among other things, it's the time of choice. Something is lost, but the potential has so much to gain. It is a time of uncertainty, uncertainty that we may for the first time, have a chance to ask ourselves, what do I want? Who am I? Where do I want to go? Man, that was me in the summer of 1970. You find yourself out of the habitual day-to-day living in a space of choice, a space of questions, a space of challenges, a time in between on the threshold of the new. So one of my favorite spiritual teachers is Father Richard Rohr, who describes the space as where we are betwixt and between the familiar and the completely unknown. We find ourselves alone in our old world left behind while we were not sure of the new existence in the new world. This is a good place where genuine newness can begin. We are out of the repetitive daily habitual cycle, and we can allow ourselves to be drawn into this sacred space, into luminosity. We are alone in our old world, left behind, though not totally in a new world. It is a good space where all genuineness can begin. And he actually says, this is the space where all transformation takes place. Let me repeat that. All transformation takes place here in liminal space. For Father Rohr talks about certainty as the opposite of spirituality. And liminal space invites us into questions, taking a breath to explore. One of our members, Sherry, I got her permission for this quote when we make our millions of dollars on how this is done. When you're waiting for the door to open, sometimes you have to stay in the hallway a long time and knock on a lot of doors. Was that pretty close? I know. It was a while back, but I really liked it. Do you take the first door that opens? Maybe you have to. Maybe you can wait. Maybe you can wait for Spirit to call. Maybe it calls you. So I believe we are in a liminal space now. We are on a local, national, international level, from climate to healthcare to the economy, you name it. Are we going to see it as an opportunity to open new doors? See the new potentials, new opportunities, and can we prepare for these new potentials? The root of much of human fear is the unknown. Freedom is scary. It can be uncomfortable, except if you have faith in the good. And unity principle number 1 is, God is good and present everywhere. So Deepak Chopra suggests that in this open space of possibilities, reflect and move forward. It may be in the pain of the moment our true soul comes out. When we embrace luminosity, we choose hope over sleepwalking. The world around us becomes an enchanted universe, something that we may have lost since childhood. So maybe it's now, maybe it's the next time you are betwixt and between. Soak up the opportunity. Choose hope over fear. It's time to create something magical, something enchanted. It's the best time to do so. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, John. John was right there. It was all right. So I've been working with this idea since I heard Father Richard Rohr talk about liminal space years ago. And I came up, kind of started fermenting it, and then months ago I came up to Brian and said, I think I got a topic. And he's kind enough to say, when I have a topic, he says, go ahead. And so I've been working on it for a few weeks, and then kind of finished this talk. And then I got a letter from Unity 5 Cities about a congregational meeting, it seems that Unity 5 Cities, us, we, are about to start a journey into a liminal space between here, what we know about Unity 5 Cities, and whatever Unity 6 cities, or 10, or 10 cities, or whatever we're going to take over is. We are on the threshold of something new. So let's enjoy the journey. And remember, all transformation takes place in that liminal space. Thank you.